funny how everybody knows what Golovkin's thinking, and they're so wrong. April 10th, there's a hearing between Mr. Bennett, the commission, and some of the other people, I believe, and Attorney General in Nevada to try to determine how we go forward with this, whether the fight happens or it doesn't happen. But I think until April the 10th, it'd be foolish for us to assume anything's going to happen because we have no control over it. We or the public has no control over what the commission decides.
Your thoughts on the fact that Triple G, for some strange reason, has been seen as the bad guy in some instances. Like, social media is going off and they're saying, again, two extremes. One, Canelo's the guilty one. The other one is Triple G. But yet the ones that say Triple G is the bad guy, how do you guys feel about that?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Canelo's the one that tested positive. Canelo's the one that tested positive, and Canelo's is the one that has to prove that he's not a cheater. Canelo's the one that has to prove that he ate tainted meat. But that's very easily done. As in any other kind of, let's just say, investigation about some kind of wrong being done, there's certain procedures. And once you do that and they determine that's what it is, okay, then we'll accept it because that's what the supposed experts decided. We're not in a position to judge anybody. We don't know enough about it. I don't think anybody knows enough about it. All those people that are accusing or maligning Golovkin because he's speaking out, he's the one that steps the ropes. He's the one that puts his life in danger against, if it's a guy that's doing something wrong, he's the one that puts his life in danger and his family's going to suffer for it, not only Golovkin. So I think he's got every right to complain and every right to question things.
Let me ask you this, not as Abel Sanchez as Triple G's trainer, but just Abel Sanchez as a person. Your thoughts, do you feel that Canelo has not done enough to warrant the fight to go on May 5th? And do you feel he should be suspended, or do you feel the fight should go on? As a person and not as Triple G's trainer.
I don't know what he's done. What we're concerned about and what we're harping about is that nobody's saying what he's done. The commission has not said, this is what we've done with him, this is what he's done, to the public and to the journalists, just so that it's what is it called, transparent. So that it's not something that's going to be swept under the rug. I think it's important for them to be forthcoming with whatever it is that's being done in preparation for that April 10th date.
I know you and I spoke actually when the announcement was made of Canelo's situation, and you said that Triple G had already tested at least 6 times from the commission. Since then,
from VADA, not commission.
For VADA. But have you seen an up in the testing, or has it remained the same since then?
That's normal. That's normal. They're unannounced. They never tell you when they're coming. You fill out a form that tells them what time you train, what time you eat, what time you sleep, what time you run in the morning, so they could be coming at any time between those times. And all of a sudden, they're knocking on my door and saying, "Can I help you?" And we don't allow fans in here. No, we're from VADA. Sometimes it's different people. You never know who's going to be there. So because it's unannounced and because the way that they do it is going to catch you if you're doing something wrong.
Abel, what do you expect from the hearing?
I expect for them to say that Canelo ate tainted meat, and he brought forth all the documentation. In other words, we bought it at this meat market and then went back and checked it, and or we ate it at this restaurant and went back and checked the supplier, and yes, that's the trail leads to that. I'm hoping, because Golovkin wants to fight Canelo on the 5th. I want him to fight Canelo on the 5th. He's training hard. He's been in a camp for 4 weeks, 4.5 weeks. So it's important that we get this fight out of the way, not only for us, but for the public.
Did this suspension kind of come sideways at you guys? Obviously, it's been so long and so much that has been talked about before the suspension happened. So did it just come at you sideways, or do you guys feel that?
I think it came sideways at everybody. You never think that something like that's going to happen to an elite athlete like that. But then again, I think that we all know that in all sports, this type of activity is rampant. There's a lot of people doing it. We don't know who's doing it. So this VADA testing is so important to our sport, so that we're on a level playing field. That he happened to be dumb and eat some tainted meat, okay, well then let's prove it, and then we go on. But I don't blame him, honestly. I blame more his people, because they're butchers, they're meat market owners. And a young man like that that's making that kind of money, he can import whatever meat he wants to eat. So unfortunately, they made the mistake, and now let's just clear it up and go about May the 5th.
In terms of the suspension, he's suspended until the hearing. What do you make of that? Because I know there's some people that are saying,
I don't
well, it's
understand
just
that.
kind of a thing. They're saying he's suspended, but he's still going
formality.
through with the fight. Yeah, it's a formality.
I don't understand that. I don't claim to be up on that. I haven't read. I just know that he's.
Do you think it's a huff and puff by the commission? Because the pressure to do something? Because
I think that the April the 10th is the date when we're going to find out if he's suspended. I think that up to the 10th, suspended from what?
That's what I was
running
getting at.
or what?
Yeah.
I don't know what they're suspended him for.
Yeah.
But I do know that April the 10th, something is going to come down, whether it's clearing or some kind of major suspension. I don't know.
Going on extremes, like you're saying right now, we should wait till April the 10th to
Absolutely.
see what's going on. Somebody like Eddie Hearn, I interviewed, and he said that no matter what, Canelo's career or whatever he's done is somewhat tainted. Just where do you stand on that?
You know, it's unfortunate that we can do a thousand things right, and nobody seems to notice. You do one thing wrong, and everybody knows about the shit, and it never goes away. He's a young man that has got a career. He's a young man that if he's not guilty, then he shouldn't be held guilty by the people. I think that he should be cleared. If he's cleared, then you go on about your career. Unfortunately, there's those people that just can't let it go. If he's guilty, then I think he should be suspended to the limit. But if he's not, then leave him alone. Let him go about his career. He's got a family too. He's got a support.
I know people have brought up the way to solve all this is a hair sample. What do you make of that?
I'm not an expert. Okay, I'm not a doctor, but if that's what they do and that is something to solve it quickly, then why haven't they done it? You know, I don't know. Those are questions that have to be asked of the commission or asked of VADA. We're in the gym training for a fight on May the 5th, and we're hoping and depending on those people that we hire to do that job, to do it correctly.
You just said that you're, no matter what, training and going forward with May the 5th. There have been names and people who have said they would step in just in case Canelo is suspended. Out of the names that have come out, Demetrius Andrade or Andre, Daniel Jacobs pulling out of his fight, maybe waiting a month for BJ Saunders. If Canelo is not able to fight, who would you want that fight to go against?
You know, I've said for a long, long time that guys need to stay busy for moments like this. Guys need to stay relevant for moments like this. When Andre doesn't fight forever and then is on an undercard where he's not really shown, these guys need to build themselves up. These guys need to build themselves because it's not our choice. If we say a name and it's not accepted by the rest of the people, that by the networks and by that, it doesn't matter what we think. They're only going to buy whatever it is that is able to be sold. So I don't know any of the names that have been mentioned. I do know Saunders, but Saunders has a broken hand.
Injury,
or something
till
like that.
June.
But
yeah.
I would like for him to fight on May the 5th. I want Golovkin to fight on May the 5th, just like he fought on the last holiday, the September holiday. I hope that they can find somebody if it's not Canelo, but I want it to be Canelo.
Is there a contingency plan then?
No, not for us. We're training. We're training. You can ask Tom that.
Yeah.
Tom is the one that I'm sure is not going to be caught off guard. I'm sure that he's got something working. I don't know what it is. I don't want to know what it is. We're preparing for Canelo for the 5th of May. Like I said, we've been in camp for 4 weeks. On April the 10th, we'll change direction if we have to, but it won't be much of a deviation because unless it's a southpaw, then we change dramatically. But if it's another right-hander, then we just continue with what we're doing.
In terms of the camp and the overall feeling, is there a sense of nervousness that the fight could be in the air?
No.
Not at all?
You saw 2 guys today win. For me, 3 guys in France on Saturday won. We just work, man. There's nothing that distracts us because there's nothing that we can do about anything that's happening outside. All we can control is what's in our environment. And we control that and we get ready for whatever it is that's going to happen. And whether it be Joe Blow or Canelo, it doesn't matter to Golovkin. He just wants to fight.
There's a lot on the line with this fight, though.
There's
money.
No, there's nothing on the line for him. No, it's a fight for him.
Yeah.
I think that we all.
But because of what happened last one,
Probably do we get lost in the business of it?
I think we get lost in the business of it. I think we get lost in what he wants to happen. He wants to fight. He's 35 years old. Will be 36 by the time that fight happens. He wants to fight. These delays are probably what's bothering him the most. Not that it's a big fight for whomever. For him, it's just another fight. For him, it's just another opponent across the ring that wants to win too. So that we put so much importance in the business part of it, I think that is something that he doesn't even think about.
Do you think we pay attention too much of the business side given the social media era?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody's an expert on social media. Yet, all those people that are experts have never laced the glove on, have never sparred around, have never. You sparred some rounds. Okay, so you know
I have
that.
too, actually.
Yeah. So all those people that are talking are people that are ignorant of the business part of the. I always say to guys that have suggestions, go out and train a fighter, go out and manage a fighter, go out and lose some money as a promoter. Then you'll understand what we go through. It's like us telling those same people that they're doing their job wrong. If I've never done it, they can't tell us if they're so good at their opinions. Why aren't they doing it? So it's just something that has to go in this year, not this year, because some of those people are ignorant.
In terms of the rematch, do you think we'll get a conclusive result this time?
They're so pissed off at each other that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I think
like,
that
have
there
you seen
happens.
a change in Gennady?
Oh, absolutely. You've seen the changes in things that he says.
Well, he's been
Yeah.
coming out more aggressive,
Yeah,
but has he been
because
showing
he's
that in
pissed off.
camp?
He's got a chip on his shoulder. He's pissed off. He's tired of being second. He's tired of people just sweeping things under the rug and not forthcoming, not being transparent. Let's get this thing done. But I think both guys are pissed off, though, honestly. So because both guys are pissed off, we're gonna have a better fight.
In terms of him being pissed off, you being his trainer, what have you seen in camp then that shows?
Just the things that he says. Sometimes how you act and how you talk and what you say when something comes up. Not necessarily how you're sparring or that, but this game is 90% mental. I've always said I'd rather have a guy that's 50% in shape but wants to kick the shit out of somebody than a guy that's 100% shape and got in a fight with his wife the night before, because you're not there. Gennady is there mentally. We know physically he's going to be there. So if he's there mentally and Canelo's there mentally, we're going to get a classic.
Yeah. Any different than the first one?
I think absolutely. They're so pissed off at each other, they're gonna try to kill each other.
Right away.
Do you feel this fight will go to decision, or do you feel, considering how pissed off both are to one another, it's just going to be fireworks?
Let me just say this: they're both good punchers. I think Golovkin's a better puncher, but they're both very good technicians. They're both very good at what they do. The guy that lands the first significant punch and wobbles or hurts the other guy will win the fight. Why? Because they're good finishers. They will finish the fight.
Thank you, Abel.
In terms of that, you want to keep Golovkin composed, not get so much emotion or hyper aggressive, right? Is that a concern?
No, that's not a concern. He had 350 amateur fights. He
So
lost
you think
5.
he'll be able to go in there and it won't?
He'll be fine.
Because I know.
But he'll understand that Canelo's caused all this.
That's the part that gets people thinking.
All these questions and all this drama, and I think that will cause him to not only be more aggressive, but to try to hurt him.
Is it a good thing if he's
That's
more
a great
aggressive?
thing. It's a great thing.
But
It's a great thing for all of us. Look,
but the counter punches.
No, but I've always said no. He has to get hit. That's just part of this game.
Yeah.
Look, if you go back and look at Leonard and Hagler, they both got hit. Hearns and Hagler. Hearns got knocked out, but it gave us what people consider the 3 classiest rounds, the 3 best rounds ever in boxing. So we want our fighters to give us those kind of classic fights. We talk about those fights like Marquez and
But you don't want Gennady to get knocked out.
No,
Yeah.
but I want him to fulfill whatever it is that his destiny is.
Yeah.
I don't want him to ever have to look into a mirror 5 years from now and say, I wish I had done this or I had done that. I want him to fulfill whatever it is that Gennady's going to fulfill. But at the same time, the other guy wants to win too. So I've always said I'm not building a perfect fighter. I'm building a fighter that's going to please the fans, just like what you saw tonight, and just what you saw in France if you saw any of those fights. My guys come to fight, and they're going to get hit because this is boxing.
It looks like you struck a nerve with Canelo.
You know what? I said it from the beginning. When Lara fought Canelo, he called Lara a runner. When Mayweather fought Canelo, he called Mayweather a runner. But this time when he fights Golovkin, that's boxing. It's not a running. He's a runner, and he's a guy fighting at desperation, throwing punches in desperation. If he's going to knock somebody out, you're going to have to go out and knock somebody out. You can't just throw punches like it to get away. And that's what I've been saying all along. If he decides he wants to knock out Golovkin, he's going to be at range for both of them to hit each other. And if they do, somebody's going out.
All right, as always, Abel, man, thank you so much. Good chatting with you.
Nice chatting with you.